Welcome back to Brick Gaming YGO. I'm back here today with another insane video, and it's about aliens combined with Dragoon. It's super turbo, it's super good. It actually is able to play, and it actually makes aliens playable. So please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, I would highly recommend subscribing. And if you guys like alien deck profiles, there will be more in the future. I plan on covering pretty much everything related to the deck eventually. So once again, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. First off, for the alien package, you play triple alien shock trooper, really good. You still want to resolve rescue rabbit, you still want to have this guy. Then double alien warrior, just a good all-around card. Then double alien kid, once again another good all-around card. This one just places A counter. This one's probably the best alien in the deck. It places alien A counters on every single monster that's special summoned. Super amazing and works super well with the deck. Then I play 2 Ammonite. Ammonite is a really good card. It just grabs your alien back from your graveyard, level 4 or lower. It basically makes Golgar immediately, and it's really nice for that reason. Golgar is super busted in this deck, even now, and there are still tons of cool stuff you can do with Golgar. Now moving on to the rest of the aliens, I play 1 Overlord. I feel like he's pretty decent, just a good, solid 1-of. Comes in clutch sometimes, more than you would think, surprisingly. And it just places A counters. It does the same thing as Kid, except for he's once per turn, and it's just place A counters on all monsters your opponent controls. Then play 1 Dog. Dog is, once again, very strong. In some respects, he's basically a free special summon, so he works well with the whole Dragoon idea. And you could definitely bump up the ratios, but I think Dog is just a solid 1-of. It doesn't come in all the time, and when it does, it's okay. Next, for the first way to turbo into Dragoon is by playing Tenyi. So I play triple Vishuda, and the reason you do it is because any Tenyi plus any normal summon equals an instant Dragoon. And that's just really strong in this deck. So, of course, triple Vishuda, double Shithana, and then the 1 Adhera. It's just a 6-card package, just super small. That's about as many as you can fit in this deck without getting a super high deck count. But I think this is the best 6, and the ones that you want to see the most often. Of course, Vishuda being the best, followed by Shithana, followed by Adhera. Then I play for the rest of the monsters, triple Parallel XZ. Basically, anytime you summon a Link, you can summon him to his own points to, then special summon 1. So if you see Parallel XZ plus any Tenyi, that's an instant Dragoon plus 1 Tenyi extra deck monster. So that's just like super good, and is really nice to have. Then the double Rescue Rabbit, this just allows you to go into rank 4s, or kind of set up maybe the Alien Link. So once again, really strong card. And then finally, of course, I play the 1 Dark Magician and the 1 Red Eyes Speed Dragon. And that rounds out the monsters. Then for the spells, I play triple A-Cell Recombination Device. A-Cell is super solid. It gets aliens engraved loaded up for Ammonite. It places A counters, and it searches an alien monster during next turn. So all of the effects combined just makes it a very strong card. Then moving on, I play double Code A Ancient Ruins. This card is a monster reborn for the deck. You remove 2 A counters from anywhere on the field, and then you reborn one of your aliens. So just a constant monster reborn if you can abuse it with Golgar, which isn't too hard. So Golgar plus this card, just easy monster reborns. Next, I play double Mysterious Triangle. Mysterious Triangle is really good. You destroy a monster on the field with an A counter, and then you special summon an alien from your deck. This is really good, and it's more meant for, like, I guess, late game is usually when it comes up, and is usually when it becomes pretty broken, mid or late game. Then moving on, I play triple Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires is really strong, just free draw power in this deck. It's probably only draw card you could really use in this deck build, unless you can't, like, Upstart or something like that. But Pot of Desires is really good. You just summon out your Dragoon first. Then once you're done summoning Dragoon, you just Pot of Desires. And even if you don't get Dragoon now and you banish like one of your pieces, it's not a big deal, because you still have your aliens. Next, for the rest of the spells, I play 1 Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion in this deck is really good. It's more of a going second card, but you can also use it going first to help make Dragoon. And then 1 Red Eyes Fusion, and this is just obviously the card that summons out Dragoon. Then moving on to the traps, I play triple Mass Hypnosis. Just deal up to 3 monsters on the field with A counters, and you take them until the end phase, but usually you just use them to wink off and then bounce this card back with Golgar. But in case you can't use that card, or in case you just aren't in the right scenario, there's also 3 Crackdowns. Crackdown does the same exact thing basically, except for it's 1 monster, and then you can just use it for material or interrupt your opponent's plays and prevent them from going deeper into their deck. So that's really strong. Then for the other continuous trap I play is 3 Fiendish Chain. Yes, I know people have been on me about this. Why do you play Fiendish Chain in 2020? Fiendish Chain isn't a good card. Fiendish Chain ain't nothing. Nah, Fiendish Chain is so strong. And it's only good in this one deck, in my opinion. And the reason it's really good in this deck is because you can bounce it back with Golgar. And unlike Phantom Knight's Fogblade, it doesn't immediately die if the monster leaves the field. That monster has to be destroyed. So, as long as you have this card on field, you have at least one extra card you can bounce back with Golgar, which is so good. I don't understand why people don't really think about that, but this card is just super, super good. And then finally, for the last 2 traps, I played 2 Lost Winds. This deck really needs this. It has a hard time in case your opponent starts doing build-a-board plays, or starts making really strong monsters from the extra deck, or just special summoning that really strong monster. So this is the only card that really stops that, and I would really recommend playing Lost Wind. Now, moving on to the extra deck, I of course play the 1 Dragoon. Dragoon is really good, of course, as everyone has realized by this point. Dragoon is just a 1-card powerhouse, and that's what makes Aliens good. Is because you can just spam out Dragoon first turn, and then you build up your board and basically just stun your opponent out of the game. And if you get 1 or 2 other interruptions plus Dragoon, you're set. You're set in the duel. You're good to go. Then for the other fusion, I play the 1,000 Eyes Restrict. 1 copy of it just deals a monster. I guess it's kind of interruption, but outside that, just free ways to get into Verte. And talking about Verte, I play 1 copy of Verte Anaconda. And this card is also very strong. This card allows you to make Dragoon, which is super nice. Then moving on, I play for the Tenny engine, in case it comes up. It does a lot of times, because the deck is really good with Tennies. For it to 1 Monk, you only need 1. More than 1, I just feel like is incorrect. 1 Draco Master to the Tenny. This card's really good because it pops stuff, and any card that pops stuff in this deck is pretty good. It's pretty solid, and pops based upon normal monsters on field or in your graveyard. So that could be anything between 1 to 3 to even up to 4 normal monsters in your grave that you can just start popping off your opponent's field. And it's also going to be kind of difficult for your opponent to get rid of. And then finally finishing off, I play 1 Berserker the Tenny just because it's generic and is a normal monster, which is pretty nice. And it also just includes 1 Link monster, so there's a lot of really easy ways to just make this guy, and he's just big. It's big and it's a beat stick, and this deck doesn't have very many of those. Then, of course, the 1 Shock Trooper M-Frame. Pretty good overall. It does have some issues every once in a while where man, I don't really know how to put this, but it's just kind of underpowered. It would have been good a couple of years ago, probably back in 2017, this card would have been good, which obviously we didn't have links at that point, but this card still puts in work occasionally and does come up occasionally. Then the 1 Echidna, this is basically just like M-Frame, but better in every single way because it has search. It searches, makes a monster your opponent controls 0, and this can just be really, really powerful in this deck. A search plus reducing your opponent's monster's attacks, really good. This deck can just use that to its advantage so much. Then, of course, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. I feel like this is the correct Nightmare package. There isn't really a ton of background removal with this deck, so having a Phoenix is really nice, and Unicorn just pretty much hits everything and plays around a lot of cards. And then finally, the 1 Access Code. Access Code is just powerful. It basically just deals with your opponent's Dragoons and deals with anything that your opponent might put up that is an issue. And then finally, of course, the 2 copies of Cosmic Fortress Golgar. Golgar is just a really strong card, bounces stuff back. This is probably the least power creeps card out of the entire Aliens, decks from the deck that you could play. And this card is just really amazing, and for that reason you want to play 2 just to maximize your chance of making it during a duel. And then finally, One Silent Honor Arc, this card's really good, just non-destruction removal, which this deck doesn't have very much of. A lot of the effects are destruction. And then the one copy of King of Feral Imps. You could also switch out number 101 for either Abyss Dweller or Rafflesia, depending on how you want to play the deck. But that's my build at least. So please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, I will highly recommend it. Please let me know what you guys thought of the deck profile in the comments below. And I will see you guys all in the next video.